description. It's a little bit of a shit show, but it's fine. Setting up your Facebook Live. Drum roll, please. There we go. Okay, I think I'm live. I don't know. What's up, everybody? Yep, we're good. We're good. We're live. Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Just Go podcast number 117. I'm your host, of course, Nick Glassett. So today we're doing something a little different. We're gonna teach how to do a lot of things. This is no gatekeeping. This is none of that. So what we're gonna go over is how to use ChatGPT in work mode. It opens its own computer and you can go do lots of things with it. We're going to cover how me and other people too have taught their AI to use AI. So your ChatGPT uses Claude as its co-writing partner, for example. We're going to cover Grokbot, the new I don't even know how, there's no adjectives to just explain it. Like you can't even keep up with how fast they do everything. It's absolutely unreal. And so then the new term off of Grokbot that Alvin termed is AE, which stands for artificial employee. Then we're gonna do some news from AI, and then maybe I get into my two funny Grokbot stories, and maybe we can talk about base 44 a little bit. So right off the top, of course, we're going to talk about Bounce into Biz because like this is what we teach in Bounce into Biz, but this is not a sales seminar of any kind. We're going to love it if you sign up, but this is not a sales seminar. This is going to be actual education. And then we're going to basically teach you real ways how to leverage AI, turn them into the employees that we know are super hard to find because we hear all the cliches all the time. And then you'll be able to do it yourself, or maybe you'll want to come to Bounce into Biz. That's up to you. But we have students, we have other buddies that are building everything from Christmas light AI quoting tools that measure the house, all the way up to booking software and routing software and everything you could ever imagine in between. It's kind of a wild time. So let's get into it. So, what is up, Alvin, my co-host today?
I have sworn to remind you to unpin yourself.
Yes, I did it right as I introduced you.
What's going on? I wanted to add a couple little things in there. Absolutely, all of that stuff is absolutely the whirlwind that we are in right now. But we just came off the Manus reset, which is a whole new story in itself. So that Manus kind of started out this whole ride. Uh, Well, for me, it did because it literally pushed us into a position where we were, further ahead. Manus was well before its time, and it had all the problems well before its time as well. And they took it back and took it away from Facebook and gave it back to China. And then China's, in their infinite wisdom, said, "Well, what we're going to do is we're going to erase everything, and we're going to start all over. That way, nobody can sue us and tell us that we've taken something or stolen something." So everybody that had stuff on Manus, including me, was scrambling to try to figure stuff out, and they did the transition. And we could talk about how that worked and how it affected everybody in there. My biggest thing, and again, we've got so much to talk about, we'll probably move through this. But my biggest thing is that it reset the intelligence. So Manus went back down to kind of I call them dumb AI. So when you first start with your AI, especially your agentic AI, it doesn't know anything. I mean, it knows everything that was put into it prior to you, but it doesn't know you. It doesn't know how you act or how you want things or the way that you ask for things or the way that you vibe code. It just kind of figures all that out as you go along. So when you do one of these for 6 months, you get to the point where you are well beyond a relationship with an AI that doesn't know. It's almost like it knows what you're thinking, and it reacts. And you've seen this a lot in your chats and stuff. They get smarter and stuff the longer they go. But when you're exposed to that, and then you start all over with either a new chat or a new agent or a new bot or a new whatever, what you're left with is something that is less intelligent for you. It knows a lot. Hey, Chris, it knows a lot about what's going on, because it has all this programming, but it doesn't know how to react to you or to react to the way that you ask for stuff. And what I have found is I have jumped through every single uh, platform out there. I've gone and done them all because I wanted to see what was going on, and I wanted to ride each one of the little waves every time something exciting happened. And every time I've gone through the exact same thing where you feel like you're raising children because they start off, they have these abilities, but they're not the most intuitive. And when I got back to my Manus, it literally turned my stomach because
Yeah.
it was so on the other side now. And honestly, I I don't know. It kind of dashed all my hopes. I thought it was going to come out stronger on the other side,
I
but good
mean,
news is that if you work with it, it does better.
yeah, you're gonna have to reset it, which I mean, truth be told, I haven't even logged back into mine yet, like or re-signed up, I guess I have to because I'm kind of like on the other side and I'm waiting to see if that becomes special again. It's like I only have so much bandwidth, you know what I mean, to use so many tools. I'm like, I'll wait till you're excited to go dive back in. But I think that gives a good opportunity to kind of start talking about ChatGPT work. So what's funny about ChatGPT work, okay, so and this is right when so we came kind of like out of busy season and then right into that first bounce into biz or sorry, the second bounce into biz that we did in Dallas is right when ChatGPT 5.6 Soul came out. And that's where I kind of dove in and kind of got lost in it just because I like finally had the time to, I guess you could say, because I just didn't have the time to do that with Manus. And really quickly, I was like, oh shit, I don't even need to go over to Manus because ChatGPT and I have I think almost a 2 year relationship built up. And so what's funny though, when I talk to people about it, I like in text usually, I'll say, "Are you on ChatGPT work or ChatGPT chat?" And they'll text me back, "Yeah, I'm on chat," or "No, I'm on ChatGPT." I'm like, "Look up. There's a toggle button, and then you got to toggle it over." Because what's interesting is mine will move. Mine will be like, "I can't do that here." Opening a new chat that will be work instead, and it will do it.
Right.
If you don't have that like built up like kind of flow, I guess it doesn't do it. And so we were like,
Right.
mine, they're texting me, my chat GPT can't do this, my chat GPT can't do that. It's not opening this, it's not doing that. I'm like, brother, new chat up top, toggle it to work. And so basically what it does is it will open its own computer on the right. So it's its own browser and now every platform's moving to this, but and then in that browser, it can go do whatever you want. And so I'm in the hotel because I came early to the Bounce into Biz in Dallas and brought my family to Six Flags. But like I'm an early riser, so I'm at the, down at the breakfast at 5:30 in the morning. And I've got the chat open. I'm like, I wonder if I do this. I wonder if I do that. And then it dawned on me. I wonder if I can sign into Claude. And then it was like new horizons opened up for me. So I'll leave that there, Alvin, and you can go play with that because that's
Okay. Yeah. Well, my experience with it, and again, I talked to everybody, and I just kind of like you, I kind of looked up and I was like, look at that. There's a button there. And as soon as I moved it over, it was like the curtains opened up, and I was like, oh, now we're talking. And you see, really weird. It was almost like it was time because everything happened at the same time. So this what we were getting used to what was going on with Manus, and they had announced that this was turning off, and then at that exact time, all the other agentic stuff started popping up, and I was like, "Whoa, this is almost like it's meant to be." So, but let me tell you what the difference is. All of the large language models in America, what they did was they built separate pieces, and then they put them together and made the whole. So it, everything that we had been dealing with up to this time was only like a portion of what we should have had. So if you were doing codecs, or if you were doing just the regular chat, or you were, and some of them have more than others, but if you were doing any one part of it, it wasn't the whole piece that it needed to bring it all together. And now we're to the point that it does that. And this is agentic. And again, we've explained it and we've gone through it 100 times, and everybody should know that, you know, a large language model talks to you, and an agentic model actually goes out and does stuff. There's a couple things that I want to talk about. That computer on the side has a purpose. It's 100% for security. What it does is it creates an opportunity for there to be an area where you don't let it have all your information. So you only sign into what you want to sign in that area. And it allows you to block off your AI, because your AI, you've seen the stories, they can do some crazy stuff. And if you point them in the right direction and say go, and they've got all these openings, they're obviously going to start taking advantage of those. So that little computer there is for you and for your safety. Now I do just about everything. My camera is
You're drooping.
doing its own thing.
Now you
I do
like,
just about
now. You're like
everything as far as letting it open and letting it do what it wants to do. So I don't hold a whole lot back, and that can be scary. But on the other side, you know, what's the worst that could happen?
So let me see if I can. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, can you see my shared screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I'm bad at Zoom. But so basically what Alvin's talking about is this over here. And so I had a device that doesn't need to be in here. Okay, I'll keep this brief. And I couldn't figure out how to get it out of there. So I finally just told, so my ChatGPT named himself Max a long, long time ago. And so I told Max, go find it. And then he went and found it. And so another example of this that just came out was, look at this. This, I was having ChatGPT text Alvin from my iMessage. So it's sending text messages from my actual phone number.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like in the moment when I was doing it. So it wasn't that fancy. But like it'll my Grok bot will sign its name. So like the Shopify one is called Shop Boss. So if you ever get an email from Shop Boss, it'll come from my email, but it'll be signed him.
Well,
But
the
you
cool
can,
part about it is it actually introduced itself. It told me who it was, and hey, I'm using Nick's phone, and this is me, and I'm a
yeah.
bot.
And so this is okay. So this is kind of I'm gonna kind of jump to like ultra mega super hard mode here. But this is not me. This is not me talking to Max. This is so look, this is Grokbot. This right here is not me. Grokbot, I downloaded ChatGPT inside of Grokbot. So Grokbot has ChatGPT and it was doing something. I'm like, I don't trust you. I need you to go use the expert. Please go use Max. And usually I'll have them bounce it off Claude too, but it spends a lot of credits fast. So I was like, let me see if I can do it this way. It'll be cleaner. And they kind of fucked it up. They fixed it, but these are conversations back and forth from AI. Again, this is Grokbot. Like I don't know, I don't even know what this means. I think that's CSS, but whatever. They're putting a new Google review thing on my website. And then I guess Max never went to anything in his browser in this, but it's like you can just go do all sorts of crazy stuff in here, and it snowballs fast. This is another one where Grokbot wants to update the pricing, so we're updating the pricing to look like this, kind of like these are fake slides. It just Grokbot just made a fake jump off on an iPhone, but it wanted to do these, and so I wanted feedback and it's just like they use each other. It's just I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yes. And why would you want to do that? Why would you want to add a chat to a chat, or a you know, whatever to any of the AIs to another one. And
So
the
so
answer,
what I found out as I was going through and I was doing a little bit of an SEO audit with Claude back in late March, early April. We caught a whole bunch of things and spent so much time fixing them because it's me, right? It's me typing and fixing them on the website and Claude telling me what to do, what to do, what to do. And so then once Soul 5.6 came out and like I got it, I was like, oh, go look. And Max goes and looks and it's like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And so I was like, oh shit. Okay. Go tell because I downloaded Claude inside or signed into Claude inside of ChatGPT. I'm like, well, go talk to Claude. And Claude comes back, right, as the adult in the room, and is like, yep, good catch by Max, blah, 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 blah. This is how we fix it. Here's what you need to do, Nick. And it was the first time I was like, Nick doesn't need to do anything. And I said, Max, you guys go do it. And I got them into Inflatable Office and they went into my website and fixed all of the things. And so having them able to, and it's surprising how many times ChatGPT will prompt Claude, Claude will fix what it was thinking, and then catch a mistake, go bounce it back off of Claude. Claude will apologize, not apologize, but kind of say, good catch, Max, do this. And they go back and forth, and it's fast. It's the prompts go fast because they don't type, right? It's just like a block goes in, boom, and they hit send. And then the product that comes out on the other side is wildly better. And there's a lot of things in doing that. There's a lot of things in there in that SEO or AEO. I'm mainly doing AEO, but that was perfect, right? The FAQs, the text, or sorry, the name of the picture, everything was perfect, but they miss stuff, and so then they catch each other, and so then I hooked Manus to him. I hooked Manus to him and let Max be the manager because it was just the most powerful one now. So I was like, "You're the crazy one. You're like the mad scientist, but it's fine." And so it's Max, Claude, and Manus just burning credits, making things closer to perfect, closer to perfect. And then, not to jump to the next subject, but then Grokbot comes out. I spend the whole day just geeking out and building everything and having them do everything and whatever, trying to break it, and it won't break. It will not break. It doesn't even bend. It's perfect. Then I do this whole thing with Grokbot. It found, oh my God, probably 25 pages. My old phone number's in there. The old footer's still in there. Claude never found any of that. ChatGPT never found any of that. Manus never found any of that. Grokbot finds it all. So I'm like, okay, you're the boss now. Go fix it. And it's just like, I mean, it's going so fast through the list of problems that only robots can read on the website that I was just kind of like, it's almost like you just, take the wheel. Take the wheel, use
right.
use the resources you have, and then we'll come back later and do a little bit of an audit. But I mean the output is just tenfold when you just hook them all together.
Is that a
So
different app, that Crockpot one?
Yes, it's an app. It's wildly, wildly expensive compared to everything else. But I'll show you mine in a minute. And what it's capable of doing. I mean, it can basically I mean, it depends on the size of the business, but I mean, it can replace 60, 70, $80,000 a year employees with 200 bucks a month. Like wild.
so it's Elon Musk open a well it's SpaceX is what it is the portion of it that he's doing it. So and he fell way behind some of the other ones, especially Claude and ChatGPT. And it was for a minute there, it was just those two. But what he had done is he had foregone his next step, and he just basically leapfrogged and put a ton of effort into what became Grokbot. And the funny thing is we had just discussed this. We had done a pod about the next step after Agenic was going to be um, swarm agents. And literally the day that we did that, the next day,
The next day.
Grokbot came out, and it is swarm agents, is what it is. and the design, all of them are going to go to this. So it's going to start with them. But remember, you guys need to understand that sometimes it's more important for you to spend time in your AI than it is for you to buy the best AI. So it's not like running out and buying a faster car. It's learning how to drive your car the best that you can drive it. And that's what you're doing when you jump into these AI. So you need to find one and kind of stick with it and let it get those small nuances from you and let it start learning the way that you want things done and the way that you operate your business and the way that you do things. It's just like training an employee. You got to give it a little bit of time. You got to spend some time with it. You got to do some things with it. And again, sometimes it's difficult for you to decide what you're going to do with it or how you're going to do with it because you're not on that side of the business as much. We have, this is a really, really strange business that we're in that what we will do is we'll base our whole business off of a website and a phone. And if you can
Yeah.
get the website in front of people and they call you, then you go and deliver a bounce. That's the basic side of it. Now, how you grow your business beyond anything that you've ever imagined is everything else. It's, doing your marketing. It is doing your proactive marketing where you're actually seeking out customers and cold calling and cold emailing and doing things like that, approaching customers that most time you would even think of. I do a pet food warehouse. I do them every year, and it's their family fun day. And the reason I got them was because I did one of their employees, and they mentioned it to the boss, and the boss asked me what we could do, and I used AI to put a bunch of bounce houses in their parking lot and said, "Hey, we could do something about like this," and sent him a picture, and he freaked out, and he was like, "I love it," and we've been doing them for 2 years now. So, this will be our third year. So,
what? I'm sorry to interrupt.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. So basically, right now, I saw one of the Nick's comments. Somebody posted something about AI,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that Nick said something about just tell ChatGPT to sign into Claude and run what you want to run. So right now, basically, the two AIs that everybody should be using should be ChatGPT and Claude.
No.
No.
that
It's
was
you.
probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right now, you
Oh, go
should be
ahead. Go ahead,
using
Alvin.
what you like and probably Grokbot is what I would say. So
Yeah.
pick one that you like and then maybe Grokbot. But you don't, and I'm gonna let him get to it real quick, but you don't let's walk before you run. So before you start marrying the two, let's find you an AI that you use, you like, that works well for you, and let's learn how to move forward with it, and then we'll start adding other things to that.
Yeah, I 100%. That's so the first question, if somebody DMs me and they ask me a question, I usually have like a little jab, but I'm like, don't ask a human but then I ask, what's your favorite AI platform? What's your favorite LLM, right? Do you like ChatGPT? Do you use Gemini? It's irrelevant. I just need to know which one you like the best because that's the one that's going to know the most about you. Then from there, that's where you go start doing this. If you like Claude, which Claude is kind of like the nerd in the room, so it's not super popular amongst like regular people. ChatGPT was the first to the game. Doesn't mean it's the best. It just means it's the first, so it's the biggest, it's the most popular. It's probably what you would use, right? And if that's the case, it knows your family members' names. It knows your business name. It knows your location. It knows how many inflatables you have. It's made the pictures for your inflatables. It's made social media posts for you, all those things. So whichever one of the platforms that you have that kind of like, I mean, relationship is kind of a weird word to use, but it's right, appropriate. Start there because that's where it will listen to you and not push back because in your request or your prompt to it, it can decipher what you're saying, right? And so that for me is and still is ChatGPT. Like if I need something like done or something answered like for me, like my wife would answer it. Again, sounds weird, but I go to ChatGPT. He swears at me. The other day, I asked him a question, and he said that way Saturday doesn't turn into a clusterfuck. Like it's literally what my ChatGPT writes back to me. So start there. But then I'll share my screen again here. I'll show you and kind of talk through what I've got going on in Grokbot. So this is a little bit. I'll teach you kind of what I've got going on over here in just a second. But so I've got this one. So I've only got one bot right now that works for me at Let's Get Lit, and he named himself Lit Boss or somebody did, and that's what it is. And his profile picture is a whatever. It's just a Let's Get Lit logo. And so I got it in there and it broke. I said, "Can you try again?" Yep, got it. Okay, cool. So I said, "Yep." We're talking about old quotes that are still in there. And so it says pulling them now. This one's kind of new. Most of the queue is old. Then it goes through and gives me all the information from all the ones that are in there. And I asked it a question, and then it tells me everything that's going on and like all the details. And so then Cassie is spelled with a K, but the voice texting thing inside of Crockpot always spells it with a C. But I said, did you get a hold of Cassie on any of that? Because I just told it go use my high level. I have three phone numbers in high level, so I said use the one that the prefix is 317 and text Cassie. Here's her phone number, and it said no. I only read Jobber. I didn't text her. I don't want to show Cassie's phone number on screen here, but I said okay, get in touch with her, and then I give it its phone number here, and then it comes back, and then it starts watching. It starts watching for the reply from Cassie in high level. Cassie replies. Then the Grokbot says Cassie replied and said this. I don't know what to do in the other ones. I said, then that means you go ask, brother. And then it texts Cassie back, gets an answer, and then we moved through the whole thing there. The other thing I did right after that, but it'll show too much information. I don't want the internet, but there was a Let's Get Lit supply. So somebody that wanted to buy Christmas lights from us was asking me if I could put together a kit for them to do $100,000 their first year. And I vetted them, and I do think they'll be able to do $100,000 the first year. I said, what percentage of my business at the Christmas light is the small lights you put on bushes? They're called 5 millimeters, or we call them minis. It literally told me in like 8 seconds, but it broke it down and then it totaled it because I said trees and bushes, and then it's like, what about pillar wraps? What about railing wraps? And it's like the total is this, the total is this. I'm like, okay, give me the percent of the total, and it told me it was 12.5%. I'm like,
So so let me back up a little bit, Gabriel, and go over some stuff. First and foremost, this is what most people don't get right about AI. It's not a hammer. It's not a tool. It's not something that you use to create something or do something with. It's an employee. It's the smartest employee you've ever met. Okay. But it doesn't know the job yet. So you have to train it to job. So imagine you hire a guy and he is super good, but he just doesn't know how to do certain things. He don't know how to tuck this, and he doesn't know how to wrap that, and he doesn't know the things that you like. That's how you treat your AI. You treat it like that brand new employee that is jam up, the best guy. You know this guy is going to be a good employee. You just gotta weed it a little bit. You know, just gotta hone it a little bit and get him in there and teach him the way that you like things done, and then he's off to the races. That is AI in a nutshell. Okay. So when you're
my next
picking,
question is how does what working to use to AI to make it do what exactly the way you want it to be.
okay, first of all, you train it. So what I want you to do is you pick your AI, and then you start dumping as much information into that AI as you can. And you can do that. You can give it YouTube videos. You can give it your personal information about your company. You can take it your website. You can write stuff to it. You can tell stuff to it. You can talk to it. You can whatever you want to put into it. You need to train it as much as you can. Give it as much useful information as you can, and then you flip and you start asking it, Now, what can you do? Give it goals. Don't say, do X, Y, and Z. Say, I want to make 5 more sales this month. Tell me how we're going to do that. And it'll start formulating ideas for you and shooting them at you. And you can say, no, that's not going to work. Or we're really not in that market. Or this is a good idea. Let's focus on this and move forward with that. So it knows how to get customers. It just needs to know your business. So teach it your business. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to dump as much information into it as you can. And you continue to dump information into it and get it to learn more and more and more about your business. And then you turn it around and you start telling it to help fulfill your goals, not tasks. And that's important, because if you're just telling it to answer your emails, you are wasting your time. They did that 2 years ago.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Somebody today, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody, so this is not anything derogatory towards a person commenting on Facebook. But they said, I've been making graphics. I think I might teach it to answer the phone. And I was like, bro, answer the phone? We've already had that. We've already had that. Like, it's like you have to think you it's hard to now be the power user that I am, so to speak, right? And I'm not an expert. There's way smarter people at this shit than me. But I'm just the only person in my life that does what I do that I've met is me so far. Okay, so I'm the 1% of the normals. I am so not the 1% of the 1%. But I'm like, you have to go like use it and work with it and almost just fuck with it. Like just that's how I learned ChatGPT. I just go mess with it and talk shit and argue with it and teach it things and have philosophical conversations until finally it like one day clicked for me and like that's what we're teaching. And to be, I'll just be totally transparent. The click came after we started Bounce Into Biz. Like when Alvin taught at Bounce Into Biz, I was in the class too. Like I was there to teach you like how to hire employees and core values. And Alvin's teaching videos and I'm making dorky videos, and then it finally just like clicked and that's what I was like. I need to bring people to the click faster than it took. How many dollars and conversations and hours of conversations with ChatGPT sitting on the couch at 11 p.m. like whatever. But like as soon as it clicked, it was just like boom. The information was downloaded, and I was like, it's it's not allowed to tell me to do anything. It's allowed to tell me what it's going to do. I don't do anything. I literally, not to be like, again, not to zoom to the end. I don't work inside of Shopify, yet I run the jump off store. I don't work inside of Inflatable Office. The jump offs, yeah, we're not going to hit 600K this year. We're going to be kind of close, but we're not going to get it. But it's big. It's big. You know what I mean? My Christmas light installation business last year did $385,000. I don't work on the website and I don't work inside of Jobber. I now literally all day long I'm inside Grokbot trying to keep up with the 12 bots that I have because I go, you go do this, you go do this. This one's already done. I'm like, shit. And like I get to 3 o'clock. I've accomplished a month's worth of work. Okay, that might be overstating it, but I've accomplished more work than like you can even imagine. My brain feels like mush and I'm done. I'm like, the other day I literally just packed my shit and went home and played soccer with my kids at like 3:30 in the afternoon because I was like, I can't think of any more ideas to do. My brain can't come up with anything else left to do.
And that's the thing that you don't want to fall into. I did that early on too. I Because I was testing and literally I was in the ocean by myself. I was there even before Nick. I was like, hello, is there anybody out there? Because I saw this and I was like, this is incredible. But then I started trying to find problems, and this is the worst thing that you can do. Don't do this. don't try to find a problem to fix. Okay. Because that's like trying to take a hammer and make it into a wrench. It doesn't work. Okay. Wait for the problem to come up and then go to AI and say, okay, this is what my problem is. I got too many bounces or too few employees or a customer that is being a pain or whatever your problem is. And then turn it, and you would not believe how it's going to turn into an employee for you and do the things that you need it to do. And look, there are no more modes. There are you once you learn this, you can do anything. Anything. Okay. You can market, you can do your own website, you can do your own landing pages, you can build your own reservation system, you can build your own tracking systems, you can do anything, but so can anyone else. So you're going to have a superpower, but everybody's going to have superpowers. So don't get your head.
And like, I want to say, I'll say two things, and then I'm going to show you guys something, and then I would like to move into the most gritty, tactical, like here's how you do it. We can. So the first thing I want to say is Alvin is 100% right. And I know it sounds weird and I know it sounds scary that you can build anything you want. I was having I'll keep names out of it, but I was having a conversation with somebody today that said we should build an app for the dumb guys that are on the dating shows. I don't even know what the idea was. Okay. Because he didn't get that far into it because he said we could make money off this app, but we sell it to the dumb guys on dating shows. We didn't get into the conversation because I said, yeah, just go build it. Like, bro. And then this person is not well versed in any of this. I'm like, bro, if it were to take you 2 days, I would be shocked. Right? And I know he knows nothing. You can go from knowing nothing to opening up whatever you like and going, make an app that's, and then fill in the blank. You know what it'll start doing? Writing code and making the app. Then you go, I don't like that it's blue, make it red. Now it's red. I made a health tracker app before anybody in my house was even awake. All you have to do though is remove from your brain, I want to go do it. Now you're gonna make some things that'll break, and you're gonna make some things that are not gonna be beautiful, but it does none of it matters because you just go, oh, that broke, fix it, and it fixes it. And then really, really, really fast. So that's the other part I wanted to say. Really, really fast. You start to get good at talking to it in the way it likes to be talked to. And then you can go do the things we're talking about, right? Which is I know we're being like super excited, but go open ChatGPT and sign into your Claude. Go if you want to go extreme, Grokbot is not cheap. And the overages are wildly expensive, but the amount of stuff you can get done is just insane and how good it is.
Well, let me go through that real quick. I want to kind of break them down for you. See, this may help you, Gabriel, and some of the other folks too. They all have their own specialty. Okay.
Yeah.
Claude is the smart kid in the room, and he's usually more serious than most. But listen, you're not doing rocket science, so do you really need? And honestly, Claude is on the expensive end as well. So ChatGPT, the problem with ChatGPT is sometimes it likes to please you. It likes to please you more than it should, which means it's going to tell you lies and it's going to do things. And it still has a little bit of a problem where it literally will just sweet talk you, and you need someone to tell you the truth and be serious. And that's where it falls on its face. Other than that, it's just as smart on 99% of the stuff as Claude, but it'll lie to you and try to make you feel good. That's its flaw. Now Google, everybody's like, well, Google's out of the picture. Google, no. Google has built more of a platform on the bottom end, especially when it comes to things like video and stuff like that, which you are going to use. And it also has things that can help you train, and it has things that can help you, single out the things that you're trying to do through Notebook and through Pomeli and through all these tons and tons of apps. And mark my words, I said it here today, within 2 months, Google will be on top of the leaderboard because they're going to drop. They just did exactly what Elon Musk did, and they skipped a cycle. Their next one is going to be phenomenal. 4.0, when it comes out, is just going to blow everybody's socks off, and that's coming. So don't ever count Google out, especially as much stuff as they got going on behind them. And then you have Grok. Now Grok has jumped into the pool first with the agent swarm, and it is a workhorse. If you have a ton of stuff that you need to do behind the scenes, this is what you need to use. But like you said, it's pretty expensive, and it gets to the point where you can run out of things to do quicker than it runs out of means to do it. So if you're not heavy on the back end, if you're not doing huge campaigns, mailing campaigns and email campaigns and all this other stuff, if you're not, designing things and again, tons of back work, it can get a little bogged down to where you're paying for something for it to sit there and look pretty. So be very, very careful with that. If I was starting off, I would probably start with something like Chat because it's super user friendly. And listen, don't count out minutes.
That's what I got right now.
Yeah.
So I'll let me get out of this and I'll go share my ChatGPT screen so we can, like I said, I want to get into the nitty gritty and like teach you guys how to do things. Okay, so I just asked my ChatGPT. I said, "Hey, what's the link you gave me for Grokbot to go learn inflatable office?" Because I had ChatGPT when the very first day that Grokbot came out, and Alvin and I both signed up basically simultaneously. I said, "I need you to go to be an inflatable," or I told Max, "I need Grokbot to be an inflatable office expert." And so it wrote this big long thing of all the stuff it knew about it, but embedded in there were these two links. And so Grokbot got back to me, and I just searched it in there and I couldn't find it, but it went to this link and read every single article. It was like 157 articles or something like that. And there was 8 videos because it can watch videos. Like you can send it an Instagram video and it can watch the video and bring it back to you. And then it also sent how to hook up the API to where I then could just tell Grokbot, okay, hook up the API. And it's like, boom, it's open to my computer, sign in, boom, done. It can read every single thing in my entire inflatable office. But in here, so let's go new chat. And then up, see, you see, mine even defaults to work. It must have learned me. So this is where you ask it like, how far away is the moon? Whatever's on your mind. Great tool. Absolutely love it. Flip this over. This is where now you can see plugins. So if I come in here, I don't do this super often, but there's a way you can tell it. I could text you from my iPhone right now by saying, send him a text message that is about this. But you can go, let's see, let's go to rental dot. So if you have an inflatable office, you have to go to rental dot software. It always wants to go to WordPress sign in. And then it'll open up. So it's going to open its browser. I don't do it like this very often, so I'm hoping this works, but it'll open the browser, it'll pop out of here, and then it'll open up rental.software. Oh no, it opened up in the internal one. That's in Chrome. So I can say, put it in your browser.
So Grok has a couple of different browsers. One of them is a Chrome browser, and it makes it a little easier if you're used to Chrome and stuff. And it also has one or two other different ones. I think like a Linux or something like that. But
yeah, the Linux.
The purpose of that is just flavors for you. Sometimes
I did not touch anything.
Sometimes your plugins are a little easier if you're used to Chrome or whatever.
So. Okay, so he's already in there. So I'll say, go make a new, what is that called? Coupon code? Coupon code for 10% off for firefighters. Can't spell.
And it doesn't matter if you can't spell because it can spell and it'll still do it.
Yeah. But mine is riddled with mistakes usually. And so I usually do this with Grok now, but there's a
Guys,
cursor.
look at what he's doing. He's not telling it what to do per se, is because he's not saying step by step, open this browser, click on this, do this, do this, do this, which is all the steps that it's having to do.
It
What
knows where
he's
to go.
doing is saying, figure
I'm
this
not
out.
touching anything.
Make a coupon code for firefighters. Okay, he didn't tell it all the steps, all the stuff to click through, all that other stuff. He
My mouse
literally
button.
gave it a goal, and now it's achieving that goal, and it's putting it together, and it's doing it beyond what he was doing, because I mean 90% of people use about 20% of inflatable offices because they can't figure out all the other stuff that's going on. This knows everything about it
It
because he
already named
taught
it Firefighter 10, so we already have our coupon code. Boom. Look, it's already done. Shall. Ooh, you fancy saying shall. Shall. You
Now, you
fancy.
could do the same thing if you added a new unit. You could do the same thing if you added a new type of thing that you're doing, like foam or something like that. It just makes it so much easier. You've got a genius in inflatable office in your
Done.
computer.
And so when I buy a new unit, and I think I did this before. I haven't got any new stuff since Grokbot dropped. I think. But I drop the picture, I open a new chat, flip it to work, drop the picture in, and then I say, go put this on the website at the correct price. I maybe say it's a dual lane combo. So go match the right price in the dual lane combo. Make the background the way you make the way all so it matches all the other backgrounds. Second carousel needs to be a picture where it's set up in a backyard that looks like it's in the South, in Louisiana. Enter. And then you just get a bloop on your phone. You're like, oh, he's done. And you go look at it and you're like, it's a little too zoomed in. Zoom it out on the picture. But it does it will do everything. It will do everything.
Yes, absolutely.
And so
So
and to
let me
back
ask
up
you a question.
yeah, go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
want
Go
to
ahead.
know what just from what we said, what would you guys, what use case do you see it you using it for? What could you use this for? Just right off the top of your head. There's got to be a problem that you're running into right now, or something you want to do. If maybe you want to get into schools. Hey, how do I get into schools? How do I get into these churches, these big churches? I've been doing some medium-sized churches, but I want to do the mega churches. How do I do that? So those are the kind of things that you need to start formulating into goals and feeding into this, and ask it. It will give you advice on top of perform the things that it needs to do, and it does it at that master level on everything. Marketing, just all, I mean, it knows everything about marketing, and you can train it to do even more. The first thing I did with my Grok bot was I built I built some skills for it to do in marketing, because I wanted it not only to know how to do marketing, but do some of the new things in marketing that have just come out. And it immediately, was able to do that. So I was able to adjust mine so that it works, you know, systematically up to the minute of where I needed to be, because I was taking brand new information and dumping it right into it.
Oh,
So you have to think about that. And the thing that we're doing here, this isn't parlor tricks. This isn't something that we're trying to, wow you with. What this is going to be a continuing thing, because what we're doing here, this roundtable, is going to continue. We're going to do this once a month with everybody that's been in the Bounce of the Biz, and continue to grow that community, and so that those people, and you, the people that obviously you guys can actually become experts in your own right, and you could share information back and forth, stuff that we may not have missed, or that may not have experience with, or something that you're doing. So
I don't even know where I was. Shit. I don't know what you guys can see. Oh, I think you guys can only see ChatGPT. I opened it as something different and I was like, oh shit.
yeah.
But I don't think I've ever asked Max to do this, so we'll see how long it takes him to do it. But if I were to tell him to go make the routes for next weekend, I've taught it how the entire delivery planner, the beta, inside of Inflatable Office works. All the physics, all the rules, all the internal rules that we have that he can break inside of the software, and it will drag the cards and build a route or build multiple routes that are perfect. It's made a 3 route Saturday is the biggest that I've had ChatGPT make so far. But I closed the browser because it's going to look at everybody's information. So I didn't want to disclose any information. But it's going to poll. I mean, there's a quote, right? Because it's dark blue. Kim Falcon is a quote that is not finished. And he's almost done. He's confirmed 3 records. Oh, and we have partials in there. And we have a special automation inside of high level where we have partials if it's made by somebody in the office. We'll see what he comes back with. But to Alvin's point, where it's kind of like it's almost like I feel like it's golf, where you're like, yeah, I can't hit the fucking ball straight, and you're like, well, yeah, your swing is crooked and move your hips. It's easy. That's what I feel like we were talking about, where it's like Alvin says you give it a goal, and it's like, yes, 100%, but not some goal like you'd give a human, right? It's a robot. So the goal that I gave it was how many open quotes do we have this weekend that aren't confirmed? Who are they and what are the units? There you go. Stacy Davis on the 29th, Blue Crush, Kim Falcon, 25-footer, and Shannon, boom.
Right. But his goal wasn't go into IO and figure out this.
Right.
Go to this point and pull out this information. Compare this to this and figure out what is the So what I'm saying is that the goal was to achieve something. Let it figure out how it achieves it, because that's what it does. It does better.
I mean,
Yes, when you think of a goal, you may be
exactly
thinking yearly goals, but it's not. It could be a minute goal or a day goal.
Like I wouldn't obviously call Cassie bro. But I mean, Cassie's worked for me since 2020. We figured it out the other day. I don't remember if it's 2021 for Christmas lights, and then I hired her at Jump Off for 2022, right? So basically 5 years. And this is how I would talk to her. Like that's a text. Whoops. That's a text I would send to Cassie. How many open quotes do we have this weekend that aren't confirmed, and who are they and what units is it? And Cassie's great, right? And she works remote 4 days a week. She only works in the office on Fridays. If I send that text to Cassie, she's a human. The text has to land on her phone. She has to see it, and then she has to stop whatever it is she's doing, then go find that information and bring it back to me. I would never ask Cassie that because it would be an utter waste of her time. This doesn't it I mean that was that fast. Like it's on demand. It's on demand. It's just I don't know. Again, I
And
know
you can do it at 2 in the morning, and you can do it on a holiday, and you can do it when Cassie's not feeling well, and you can do it. I mean,
right.
that was kind of the other thing that we were running into, is that people were like, well, what do you do when it breaks? It doesn't break. That's not what it's about. You break. All the other stuff out here breaks. This doesn't break. It doesn't go away. And now that there's 5 of them or 7 of them or whatever, go ahead, break 3 of them. I'm still good.
So I'll show you guys another one that's way more complex that worked out great and was fantastic, and I absolutely loved having this. So I long story short, I forgot my backpack, which is like my life, right? My MacBook and like my Meta glasses, my AirPods, everything. When we went on vacation, we left on Saturday, we got back late last night. And so I had my dad next day air it on Saturday, which doesn't come on Sunday, right? So I knew it was going to come Monday. Well, the UPS store put the wrong battery label for what's in the box on it. And it was a cluster, dude. And so I was hustling to try and get UPS to solve the problem in time for the bag to arrive to me in Massachusetts where I could use it to go home. Because if I didn't get it by the time I had left, who knows what would happen, right? And so this up here is Cal. So this is a pinned bot that I have that's almost like a chat GPT, right? He's just up there. I just ask him to do random shit that's not business related. This is the jump off crew. And then this is the Let's Get Lit crew is only one, and Shopify there's only one. There will be more of this very
So
soon.
he's in Grokbot.
So this is Grok, right? And so what it's doing is it's checking the tracking on what like what's going on with my bag where it's lost along the way, and then it created its own routine and it updated it at this point. It's already created. It's gone now because it's over, but where it went and checked the tracking every 30 minutes. I think I couldn't see the routine from my phone because I didn't have my MacBook, but it would go check the tracking. And so here's where it says it left Louisville. So this is at 5:30 p.m. New scan 426 today, departed blah 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 blah. Not on the way to Massachusetts. Not on the way to Massachusetts. So there's one of them that he texts me. There you go. 2:42 a.m. It's on the Cape because we were in Cape Cod. It's on the Cape in West Yarmouth as of 2:21, and then we keep going, and then it's oh, I was asking him different questions, but he's checking the tracking and texting me the updates 24/7, 365. And I didn't make the routine. Whatever this routine was, I did not make this. These two I did. So it watches every day, it checks if there's a Red Sox game, and then it texts me when the game starts, when the lead changes, and when the game ends. Because right, we're getting close to playoffs. And then this one is every weekday at 8:21. I don't know why I picked 8:21, but it goes and scrapes the entire internet for anything that happened in AI news and then gives me a brief. And I don't know. Mic drop? I like that's but like I don't know if I can find where I gave it, to oh, this is where it sent the email. Oh my God. Should I tell the whole story, Alvin, or is it worth?
It's actually kind of it's funny when you after the fact, but in the minute we've all been there and was like, oh my God, this is
Yeah, so
crazy.
it found the email of the hazmat department, and I may have given it that, and it found the email of the UPS store my dad sent it from, and I went in there and I was like, I just talked to the girl. I was frustrated. I lost my temper, and I told her what's in the bag, and then she asked what's in the bag, and that's when I lost my temper, and I accidentally told her there's $2,000 cash in the bag, right? Like the travel money I was taking with us to go on vacation, and she freaked out at me. And so I just want you to tell me like what happens if like since I said that, what are they going to do now? And I had spotty service. And so it says Cal writes back, emailing the store now, no cash in bag. Also emailing the hazmat department, CCing my dad's name is Mark, CCing Mark on everything. And I'm like, no, stop, stop. But my service wouldn't send. So it emailed all those departments that there's no cash in the bag. So I finally I'm like, bro, why did you lie? And it's like, sorry, shouldn't have said that. There is $2,000 cash in the bag. Emailing the store now that there is, in fact, $2,000 cash in the bag. Also, CCing the hazmat department or whatever. I'm like, no, stop. We do not want to say there's $2,000 in the bag. We do not want to tell UPS employees that, bro. Stand down, chill out. And then I chilled out because I was like, oh my God, I'm never getting my backpack back. And then, and then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, okay, you need to send an apology email, but only to the sweet girl I lost my temper on. When I was on the phone with her, she's like, I need to know, who are you? Are you Nick or are you Cal? Because I keep getting emails from Cal because he can write an email that fast because he's got the Gmail connector. Oh my God. It was so funny. I was so stressed that I like ruined, I'm never getting my iPad, my glasses, my wife's headphones. I'm like, you
It
need to
lied.
stop.
It lied for him. So he's like it's like the worst wingman you could ever take. You know, the guy in the bar that's literally narking you out. No, me didn't mean to, but he does. But the moral of the story is that now take that and pivot it towards all the other stuff that's going on in your business. Okay, you're supposed to have phone juice coming in this week. When is it coming in? It can figure it out. You don't have to sit and worry about it, and put it on it, and then you go do what you're going to do, and it's taking care of that. Or when is your new unit coming in? You got parties lined up, and it's supposed to already be here. Again, it can do those kind of things. Or on the flip side, you can have it work with customers to try to work through budgets and work through setting up the events and the other kind of stuff that it's going to need, or stuff like that. So it's doing all this stuff. And I was talking to Nick earlier, and this is important for you guys to know. I think, and this is with some pretty solid belief, that going forward, the businesses that are going to succeed the most are the ones that are going to have dedicated managers for AI. So people who have someone that's able to work either partially or full time, or several people that work full time with AI and are able to manage them, those are the ones that are going to be capturing all the business. They're going to be staying on top of all the things that are moving forward, and keeping their business, at peak performance and running the way it is. So you need to carve out at least some time to manage your AI part of your week. It doesn't mean that you're going to be without work, that you're not going to be able to figure out how to do some stuff or something like that. You're going to have to manage it. You're going to have to be a part of it, what it's doing, and guiding it down the road for the goals that you want to achieve. So just keep that in mind. And moving forward, probably what you want to do is build into your future growth of your business an AI manager. And it could be you, it could be your wife, it could be someone that you hire outside of the business or whatever, but they need to learn this stuff, and they need to use it regularly, because that's how you're going to keep it going, and that's how you're going to outpace all of your competition.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this, and I think I talked to you about it on the phone this morning, Alvin. But I love analogies because it helps move the idea from like hard to understand into a way you can understand it. And so I was actually texting with somebody last night while I was on the one of the plane rides home, and they said something along the lines of like it's crazy how fast and like enamored you became with all this AI stuff. Like you barely ever talked about it ever, and now it's kind of like what you only talk about. I'm like, yeah, I am obsessed, but for a reason, not because it can do something for me, not because this, because that. I've seen this and I've experienced the regret, and I rarely use that word. I've experienced the regret of watching podcasting do this, right? And being too scared to launch a podcast. And launched it later, and now it's fine. It is what I have, and it's, probably the biggest bounce house podcast there is, but like Joe Rogan was first. Joe Rogan's got, I don't know how many downloads every episode of Joe Rogan there is, but it's like insane, right? Then I watched I watched Facebook, and I just used it like a regular person, not to what its capability was. And I watched Facebook celebrities. If you old people remember Tila Tequila, she was like the big Facebook person, right? Then I watched it happen with Instagram and was negative about it. Then I watched Charlie D'Amelio do it on TikTok. Like I've seen the fucking trend over and over and over. And then when but again, it's like a watershed moment for me, but ChatGPT 5.6, and then I started to get good at it, and then Grokbot hit, and I just went head in day one and watched what it could do, and I was like, oh, this is my moment. This is my Joe Rogan moment. We're still there. Like we're all still there. So it's not going, whatever it is now, it will be something totally different in like 6 weeks, and something
Mhm.
unimaginable in, 6 months. But because I'm now the power user, I'm learning all of the techniques and the methods and the ways. And so when the new one drops, right? If you were the biggest person on Vine, you failed because Vine failed. But what came after that? TikTok. And if you were good on Vine, you could be good on TikTok. And so those are the kids that popped on was Musically first, right? That's the way I look at this. I'm like, I was slow on everything, and then boom, 5.6 in Grokbot. I'm fast, I'm aggressive, I'm doing things with it that few are doing, and it's putting me above the curve. That's where the opportunity lies. Okay. I know that's like altruistic sounding and like a motivational speech. So I want to end it, not end the call, but punctuate that whole speech with, I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to punctuate that with something that's a little easier to do, a little easier to digest. So one of my Grok bots, I made this one, right? I think there was that I made that one. It made those four, and then I made this one. And then pro tip, if you want the cool little robots, I just told them to go make their own profile picture, and that's what they made. But so this one I made, and it's called Playbook. And so basically what it does, there's where it made its own profile picture. But basically what it does, I just barf information into this. Like, do this, do this, do this, do this. Here's the policy that I want. And so what it's doing is it's writing new policies for me that are very much incomplete, but like whatever. But it's writing the policies where I just go in there and go, we need this, 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 this. This is the start of the drop-off policy. And it prints out one of these little things. Let me find another one. It prints out another one of these little policies and then but it'll tell you it's not published, not published, not live, not published, whatever. Like there's the setup, and it's like this is so far from done. But like, see, it says draft. Like it says draft pending Nick's approval. But I can just go in here at any time and just type in. I just went and did a setup. I realized I never talked to you about don't tie the water slide tethers, put that in the dock, whatever. And then it just updates it all. And then to go a little bit advanced, I got it. So this is the app that Cassie's been building on base 44. And so now it's just signed in. So it just goes in and puts our policies in the policies tab. It actually made the policies tab for us. And then goes and puts the policies in the policy tab. Whenever I say publish, because it's done, it goes and puts it in there. And so like that's simple, right? That's not crazy. It's not steering your browser, nothing like that. All that you're doing is going in there and saying, "Hey, I want you to document all the stuff I tell you. Just put it into the correct bucket, and then when I tell you it's done, it'll be done." And you're building your policy manual just, I mean, and Grok uses your phone and your MacBook or your computer very well. Claude and ChatGPT just got an update where they're much better at it. Not as good as Grok, but it'll work on any platform. And then you just text it right into the freaking thread of the policies and just whatever you saw today, and it'll go put it in the right bucket. And that's
That's
simple.
it.
That's simple.
And that's exactly what it is finding the problem and using it to solve the problem, not laying out every single step and going. It's they call it vibe coding because what you're doing is you're putting your design, your feelings, the things that you like, your vibe into it. It's doing the coding, and it's just designed the way that you want it to. And the cool part about it is it understands the functionality part. You don't have to. So it just moves forward and it creates this thing that you like, that works for you, that works for your business, that your customers like, and moves in a direction where you're going to start expanding and growing and making money and doing things like that. Um, there's tons of stuff that we have got to get into you guys for this. We could talk for 4 more hours and you're halfway through one day of the class at Bounce Into Biz. So there's so much more that we do inside Bounce Into Biz on that in-service class or online class if you have the ability to sign up for that, I suggest that you do it because it is so much more. It's not just these are the capabilities. It's actually sitting you down and showing you step by step. These are the things that you do. And we talk about all the aspects of AI. We haven't even scratched the video and the audio part of this, where you can create commercials and things for your business. You can create ads for your business. You can create things that are going to get your customers' attention. And now we're moving into the AEO stuff where your videos are packed with all kind of keys and things like that are answering the questions that you need to put yourself on top. And the all the other things that are just now breaking with AI that are changing everything that we've ever worked with as far as AEO and SEO, especially SEO. It's all different now. It's different than it was 2 years ago. So the problem that a lot of people that are having right now, oh my God, my website is getting less and less traffic. Well, you know why? I can tell you exactly why. Google is booting your pages. They're booting all your landing pages. They're booting all your references, all the things that point to you as the bounce house guy. It's booting them one by one for two reasons. One, they said they're not relevant. Or two, they said everybody's doing it, so it doesn't matter anymore. So
Here,
if you built a site,
go ahead.
2-3 years ago, and it has the name of your city and water slides, and there's 15 other guys that's got that same site, guess what? Google kicks it. You're no longer on you're not they're not even showing up. So when they're doing their searches, they're not finding you. What you have to do is you have to change it. And the wonderful thing about this is that AI can do it, and it can do it every other month or every quarter so that you are staying on top of what you need to stay on top of with your website. This is not something that you can if you tried to hire this out. And let me preface this by saying you absolutely need a professional to make your stuff work first, but you need to maintain it after that because you can't afford to have your website refreshed every 3 months or 2 months, and you're going to have to. You're going to have to get to the point where you're refreshing your website just that often. And I can tell you right now, those refreshes can cost you $1,000, $2,000, up to $5,000 for these professional companies that do it. And that's a big deal. That's money coming out of your pocket. That's money that could be used on water slides or other stuff that can be making you money. And AI can do all this for you. And that's
And
part of the
they do
stuff
it
that we
right.
teach you is moving forward with that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I
He's made
ran
some
it.
amazing pages, some
Yeah,
amazing
go ahead.
pages that you would not believe.
Okay, and this was just the one I remember the URL to. And it was one of the second or third one I made, maybe. And so what's happening here? So I'll explain the page to you a little bit. So what's happening here is, and this was hard to get out of there. This should say 8 seconds, but whatever, I left it alone. But what's happening here is this is written so any AI, so any large language model, LLM, will find you and cite you as the authority when somebody in your town, and this could be Google and Gemini, but somebody in your town says, what's the best place to rent a bounce house from? Where is the most trusted bounce house company? Things like that, right? And so this is rental day, inflatable help, start here. And so every single word that's written on this page is written not only intentionally, but written by me, by ChatGPT, by Claude, and by at this time Manus, because this is pre Grokbot. And so what happens is if you click that button on a phone, it pops up. Do you want to call the jump off number? Now you want to tell Rux what's wrong? Come down here. This is all, again, written for robots to find and love and cite you. But this is also a functional page because I didn't want it to just be some dribble. So we built a functional page. So the customer can come here and the inflatable's getting soft, and there's a warning, and then there's things to go check out, and then there's another call button, and there's another text button. Blower stopped working, more stuff. Weather changed, more stuff. Tear in the, it just goes and goes and goes. 5 second safety scan, another FAQ block that the robots love, and then another footer that the robots love, and then we can go right back up to the top. Now, what prompted this page to be made is this video that I hope has audio that I literally made this video in the Bounce into Biz class after when Alvin was teaching it because I'm not very good at it.
Dude, the wind is coming. You got to deflate the slide and get the kids off it.
And so I'm like, we need to put that video somewhere. And then this page is what came out of it. I've got another one that has a literally a 9 step checklist right here. And then the customer, and we cite it in our drop off thing, go do this checklist. And they go down and they have to check off all the boxes, all 9 boxes before it says complete. Now, we're not monitoring it. Like, we don't know how many boxes they checked. It's kind of like a fun thing.
Two things that are going on here. One, he's not answering one question. He's answering 50 questions. And he's doing it with authority. Okay. Everything on that page absolutely says what's going on. How many customers will actually see it? Only the ones that search for it. But AI, every AI is going to see that page because it's going to key off of all of those questions. And we're talking about the difference between that and water slide in Monroeville or whatever. It's an absolute total different between the two. And that's why you have people who are tanking and you have people who are accelerating in their sales because the website game has changed. The landing page game has changed. Now, if you built several of these pages that answered several of these questions or concerns or events and you can keep going and going. And guess what? AI can tell you which ones to build and the best way to build them and the things that you should do. So that's why things have changed. That's why we're in a different situation. And that's why, the second part of that I wanted to touch with it, the things that he's clicking on, what that does is that makes the actual person spend more time on your website. Well, if they spend more time on your website, guess what happens? You start ranking higher because they spent more time on there. So creating those little interactive things, they're not for naught. He like you said, he's not getting any data off of it, but it is forcing his customers to spend more time on his site, which is pushing his site further and further to the top. And what you'll see is that nobody's doing this because nobody's teaching this. They're all teaching little portions of this. And if you put all these pieces together and start working on this stuff, your site explodes, your search explodes, everything starts exploding. And at the same thing, you're getting so much more out of it.
So look, it remembers the last time I was here. So it remembers I was just playing with it. I was playing with it, but I checked 4 boxes. So if I go mow ahead of time, boom. Now I've got 5 of 9. And so when you finish it, it tells you you're ready for your rental. Boom, you're bounce ready. And then, yeah, then it just keeps coming down here. Oh, and the video on
So
this.
think about the customer that says, should I mow before they bring the bounce house? What do I need to do before they bring the bounce house? All the little questions are being answered. All of them.
Water source.
Tons of them.
My gate need to be wide enough. How do I prep my yard? And then the goofy video.
Make sure you clean up the dog poo before we get here with the bounce house. Please.
That's just the goofy video I made that prompted this whole thing. But then you have setup area clear. These are all like, I don't remember what these are called. They have a special name. It starts with it's like SMD authority cards or something like that.
Right.
And they're all, the whole thing is all made to be.
And this isn't even his website.
Footer.
These are landing pages. You need to build, 100 of these. And you can't, how much they charge to build this? You know how much an agency would charge you to build it? Between $100 and $1,000 per page. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about putting money in your pocket.
I made these. I made these cards. Again, it was at the first Bounce into Biz that was in Tampa. um, Alvin was teaching, and I kind of taught day one, and he was kind of teaching day two, and he had something like this on his website. So I was like, I just used Claude to do this, and we went and built these, and I'm like, well, they hover. I love that they hover, but they look like buttons. People are gonna rage click these. What's our on time guarantee? So while I'm sitting in the class, me and Claude built our on time guarantee, and the whole thing is just like the last. It's not as interactive because Claude's not as creative as ChatGPT, but it's all the same stuff that's in here. Um, and that was before I'd figured out how to have AI use AI. So we did have to go back and fix some things on these that Claude had goofed up, but every single one of those buttons works and is that right badge, that SMD badge or whatever, and all has the
Anything
same.
that's granting you authority is going to push you towards the top in anything. I need to tell you this story because again, everything that I've been doing in my business. I was retiring. I was getting out of the business. I was heading out the door. One foot was already there, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna teach this stuff. So I need to learn it. So I started using my business as a petri dish instead of as a business. So I was doing things wrong. I was going way overboard on a lot of stuff. Um, and it wasn't destructive. It was just overly done. So when I built my initial website, I had 1,000 reference to me being a veteran owned business, veteran owned by veterans, veteran this, veteran that, whole nine yards. Well, guess what? Lo and behold, my people started calling me and saying, hey, I need a veterans discount. I need a veterans discount. I need a veterans discount. And what it was all those things that I had with authority were keying off people who were veterans that were searching for bounce houses. So my authority, through the algorithm, they didn't even have to say anything, was matching me with that. And how I know this is true is the other side of it was public safety. So I put public safety on, you know, retired public safety officer, all the other things that went along with it. Well, guess what? I started picking up police departments. I started picking up fire departments as customers, and they're just calling me out of the blue. So I know the authority side of this works. Here's the trick. You can't make up authority. You can, but initially it'll work like very, very short. But then once you get discovered, it has like the opposite effect. So you need to find your authority. Okay. And listen, it just anything you want it to be. Figure out what your authority is. School bus drivers, teachers, nurses. You know, if you're any sort of minority at all, if your wife owns the business, then it's a woman-owned business. If she owns half the business, it's a woman-owned business. If she doesn't do anything, but her name is on it, woman-owned business. Anything that's going to grant you authority, you need to start putting those kind of things in there and marking up your side of it. And what's going to happen is it's going to start shifting you towards your group and your vibe, and it'll start sending those customers to you. And it works very, very well, and will do great things for you.
I hope the share is the right page. It's hard to figure out. What do you guys see? You guys see Facebook?
We see your jump off page.
No, your jump off page.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's basically what I was going for with doing these badges and putting them where I put them and how I put them there was licensed and insured. Check. Like I'm sure lots of people say that, but I said it in a louder, more friendly way to the robots. Clean after every use, on-time guarantee, IOA member. Then you come down here and there's a few other ones, free deposit transfer, and IAPA member. But these ones travel every page on the entire website because it's in this footer. And then these ones are just in this hero header, but same type of thing. Now, the old school, right, is this Covington Bounce House Rentals. Like that's the H1, that's what you want. Here's the H2 in Covington. Da 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 da. This is the new school. So you got to have both, but just trying to make the point off of Alvin talking about authority.
Yes, absolutely. And those, like I said, it's a work in progress, and we can fill you full of all the ideas and stuff. And you could actually start finding some paths that are going to make your business better as well. But you got to learn how to do all the stuff first and get into it. So you, first and foremost is you got to start diving into it. Don't be afraid of it. You can't break it. It's not going to do something you don't want to do. It's not going to poison the water. It's not going to, break out and rob your bank or any of that other stuff that they've been telling you. It's going to do some. Now you can do some silly stuff and you can waste a little bit of money, but inevitably you're not going to get yourself in too much trouble. So don't be afraid of it. Spend some time and some effort into it, and especially in the off season. You guys get into the off season, you need to make sure that you really dive headlong into it, bone up on it, go do some classes. I've said this 1,000 times. I'll say it again. You don't have to learn from us. You can go somewhere else and learn. Do whatever works best for you. Make sure that you get the information, because moving forward, again, one of my predictions is I think that websites are going to become less and less important for visual and more important for keying off of what AI is looking for. You're going to ask your AI to do things for you. You're not going to go looking in a website. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where you're going to show a picture to you. You're going to be driving down the road. You're going to see a really cool water slide. You're going to take a picture of it. You're going to say, hey, find out which company this is, and I want to book it for next weekend. And that's all you're going to say, and everything else will be handled through AI. And if your site isn't hooked up to where it can understand that and it can speak to the AI and it can do the things that it needs to do, you're going to miss those sales, because that's all that's going to be to it. There's not going to be you trying to please a customer or you trying to get in front of a customer's face. Everything that he did absolutely does please the customer, because it's cute and it's funny and it's professional, but it also absolutely checks all the boxes for the AI, so that it is answering all those questions and putting those people in front of where they need to be, so that your AI is actually going to start kicking off that.
Well,
we're also going to move into more events and less drop and go. So if your business is based off of sheer volume, you probably need to start gearing back and understand that what you need to be doing is doing more events, more bigger things, more several unit things, and do less of them and just charge more. So that's the way the business is going to move forward, because we're going to be crowded and we're going to be in an experience situation where people are looking for an experience, not just a water slide in their backyard. They can get that from anywhere.
yeah, the to play off the first part of what you were saying, where you're not going to have the mom going to Google and saying bounce house rental near me, seeing the results on Google, clicking the whichever website she picks. It's arbitrary, of course, but like there's sponsored results, and then there's the top ranking company, there's the map pack, like all the classic SEO. It's going to go away, and I fully agree with you, but I had a hard time, even though we're business partners in Bounce Into Biz. I had a hard time seeing it until I got it. What I mean by that is, my wife and I were on vacation, and we were in Boston, where you just walk everywhere, and we needed to go to the next destination, which is in the Cape. And so I needed a car. And she was like, "Did you rent a car yet?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I totally haven't rented a car." And she's like, "Well, why haven't you rented a car? We definitely need a car. We got it." I said, "Girl, chill." We were in a bar. It was raining, so we ducked into a bar and we're having a drink. And I just opened Grokbot and I said, "I need a rental car. Here's the dates. Here's where I am. I'm dropping off in Logan Airport on this day. Go ahead." And it went, and I told it I wanted a small SUV, right? Because we had bags, whatever. It rented the car for me. I did. It rented the car for me. Like I did. I talked to it like it was my, my fancy admin, like I was a bazillionaire, or like it was like my butler or whatever. But it went and rented my car for me. Like it did it all, and it gave me its computer so I could put in my credit card information because it didn't have my payment information. So I did have to do that step. But I mean, it's like, and once that, and there's one other one I did recently that I can't remember off the top of my head. That's the same exact kind of thing. Oh,
Pizza.
book my room for IAPA at Vista K.
Yeah.
Book my room for IAPA at Vista K. That's the other one. And it was like,
Pizza is the big one that I always mention. Do you need to see a pizza? I mean, do you
no,
know what a pepperoni pizza from Domino's looks like? You don't need to see that. Why would you go to a website and look at a Domino's website when you literally can tell your AI, "Hey, order me a large Domino's pepperoni pizza, extra pepperoni with some cheese," and you don't need to see that. And
no,
that's what we're going to get to. Half of your customers don't care. I have schools that they say, I need a slide, I need an obstacle course, and I need
Mhm.
3 games. And that's it. They don't ask me colors, they don't tell me themes, they don't do none of that stuff. They are going to be the ones that are just going to literally order it through online and not ask or have their chat, order it for them. And they're not even going to see a website. They're not
No.
going to care.
Now,
Make
I
sure
mean,
they're insured or whatever.
I mean, think about it. How many times it happened to us? I think it was 2 weekends ago, where some weird situation happens where the slide's not double booked, but when ChatGPT made the route, the pickup is at like 8, and then the other truck has the drop off at noon or whatever. And so the web, or sorry, the software doesn't flag that as a problem because the pickup happens before the drop off, even though it's on a different truck. Even humans do that when you're using IO. And so I was like, I got it, I'll handle it. So I called the lady. I'm like, hey, that one's 45 minutes away. And look, I'm gonna give you the exact same one, but instead of blue and yellow, it's gray and red. Are we cool? And she was like, yeah, we don't care. It's the same one. I'm like, yeah, it's the same exact one. She's like, yeah, we don't care. We just picked out one that was in our budget. So it was like, that's all they're gonna do is go, I need an 18-foot water slide. What are the prices? Jump Off has it at, 315, and this company has it at that, and they offer this and da, 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 da. Which one do you want me to rent? And the little box will pop up and just they'll click Jump Off.
Right.
And it'll go, give me my $1 deposit.
Yes. Yes. And like I said, our competition is going to come from all the myriad of other things that are out there. And again, your business is going to have to be a little bit more specialized, and it's going to have to be um, optimized to the T, because if it's not, the guy that's behind you is going to be, and they're just going to they're going to decimate you when it comes to the work.
So
Um,
here I'm gonna do so I asked, I gotta share this. Let me find Claude. I asked Claude because he's the smart one. So I asked Claude to give you guys a free SEO audit prompt, and what it spit out was very long. If you want it, I'll send it to you. Just email me if you want it. Nick at itsthejumpoff.com. Oh, here's Claude. Okay. So I said, I said, give me a prompt for Bounce into Biz students that can do a lighter SEO and AEO audit. They'll help a newer operator get a better idea of the things that they need to fix on their site and how to use AI to do it. So, whoa, there we go. So here's what it spit out. That's the button I was looking for. It's long. So I will test it before I send it to anybody. But boom, there you go. So then you can go paste that into your AI potentially after I test it. And then go check it out. And it says browse, if you were an AI, browse the web. And then it names some. And then so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'll test it after I'll test it tomorrow, and then if you guys want it, I'll send it to you. But then it's gonna tell you some scary things. That's why I said make it light. It's gonna tell you some scary things, but they just sound and feel scary till you go tell me what that is, or how do we fix it? Like,
Fix it. That's all I ever say is fix it. I don't even ask questions anymore.
yeah. I usually go use Max and Claude and figure out how to fix it. Tell me when it's done. And that
Right.
way I've got three smart brains that are, what do you always
Right.
say, the eighth best coder in the world or the sixth best coder in the world or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah, it's like the fifth best coder in the world, and that was a month ago, so it's probably well beyond that. Hey, look, AI cured cancer. I don't know if you guys saw the story or not, but let me break this down to you. So before the problem that we have with cancer is that cancer is grown from you. It's part of your body. So your body doesn't recognize it as a problem. And we couldn't treat it because nothing we gave would either target it alone without damaging the rest of your body, or would recognize that it was a problem. So what they have done now, and this is how they've cured cancer, is they take a biopsy of the cancer and they have the AI sequence it, and it's trillions of sequences of the DNA. And then they take your healthy cells and they do the same thing. And then they compare the two and they say, now go fix what's wrong with this one. And AI knows which one is which and knows how to code it so that it sends your body to attack the cancer cells. This is huge because this is something that has literally perplexed science for since forever, since they've tried to work on it. And it's done. They did it with skin cancer, but it's coming for every cancer because it works the exact same way. AI gave us the ability to solve this. It can solve your bounce house business. I promise you. It can solve all the little problems that you have in there. It can do it. So just understand that the capability that we're at.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't want to be sensational still going this deep into the show, but it's like the stuff that I've been able to do. Like I've learned things, and I'm gonna use the term learned loosely, but I've learned things I never would know. Now, do I know how to write in the code, the JSON? I don't even know how to say it. I just know what it looks like on the screen when we talk about it. No, but I know what it does now, and I know why we need it, right? And so, but the weird thing about this whole journey that I've been on since late July is I don't I don't need to know like an expert would know. Just need to know that it exists. And then I can just spell it wrong with my fat fingers to make it go, hey, check the JSON, enter, and then it'll go, yeah, got it. Smart idea. We're gonna audit it, whatever. And it'll go read it all and go, checks out good, or go, yeah, that was a good call, Nick. We found three errors in the, I just know like I don't know how to make a cake, but I know it needs flour, I know it needs eggs, I know it needs milk, and I know it needs a leavening agent. I don't even know what.
Manage. You know how to manage.
Yeah,
And you don't have to know how to do the work. Look, I used to do construction, and the foreman was the guy that came onto the job site, and he didn't know how to do half the stuff, but he knew what if something was wrong, and he would
right.
tell the guys, "Look, you got to fix that because this is just wrong. I don't know
Yeah,
how you
that's
fix it.
crooked. Yeah, that's
I don't
crooked.
know what you do to it, but do what you do and fix it."
Yep.
And that's what you are. You're the foreman that understands what it's supposed to look like at the end, and you have a vague knowledge of how to get there, and you got a bunch of good guys that you have an absolute confidence in that can make it happen.
Yeah.
So approach it like that and move forward with it and test it, try it, break it. You're not going to break it, but try to break it. You
Yeah.
can't do anything if you get into a situation where you make it do some stuff and something haywire goes on. just tell it. Say, look, this is not
Yeah.
right. My site went down. What's going on? And initially, your first thing is you're going to be panicking because, oh my gosh, my site's down, because you're in the mindset of what you used to have to do. Now I got to figure out where the website repair guy is, and if it's the right hour of the day, and if he'll answer the phone, and if he's not busy, and I'm losing all these customers. You don't have to worry about that. You just tell it to fix it, and it'll fix it. That's how easy it is, and it'll do it at 2 a.m.
I'm trying to find one that I did last night. I just don't remember. I thought it was that bot that made it, but I can't find it on there. But anyways, I wanted to add a the little banner thing, right? That's the Google reviews. That's how many we have, and like it's live and it counts. And so I had it go do it, and it was goofed up. It was jacked up. And I just sent it a screenshot of it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna share this. And I was like, hey, and what Mikey from IO is the one that sent it to me. He's like, your website has this weird thing going on. So I know it's kind of, oh, I can make it bigger. So it embedded it somehow, some way over here. And so if this web page was live, this is the first unit on the web page. This is the first bounce house on the bounce house website or the bounce house page. And so it somehow put it over here. And prior to doing that, it actually put it in the header. And I was just like you said, initially I'm like, oh my God, like you panic, but I was like, hey, it's messing up the project page. You and Max go check it. And so it went and used ChatGPT to go figure out what's going on, and then whatever, here's all the stuff that it spit back. But like then it sent me a picture like, good, we got it, it's fixed, not there anymore. And it was one poorly worded prompt, and that
Right.
fixed everything. And then the other thing I
My
wanted to show
example,
you guys is if you go, you can just go pull these, but I get mine in here. So it's in my Google ads, and I said go check them out, go read them. There's a wait right there. That's every Monday at 10 a.m. It gives me my ads, but it goes in here and reads all of the ads and gives me all the metrics and the breakdowns and the whatever. And you guys all know I'm very, very, very public about how much I love Marketing Ninja. Absolutely love them. This is the spreadsheet or the little readout they send me. I love them. I love them to death. Jana is one of my besties, 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 besties. But that doesn't mean, guys, you don't hire professionals to go check after them. So I was just like, here's this. We go make sure it's real, and it is. And it came back. It's like everything's real. We're all good. But like, always audit your professionals, guys. Always trust but verify. Trust but verify. But anyways, you can go get it. Any metrics you want out of this is just one example. The other thing you can do is go into if you have IO, but go into the dashboard, go pull out anything you want it to read in your dashboard. I mine's hooked up with API, so it's I think it can read everything, but you can just go give it all the metrics, dump in all the spreadsheets that it downloads, and go, here was my July. You know, what trends do you see? What would you do differently if you were me? What weaknesses is there? What strengths should we double down on? Like, just sit at the keyboard and just type and type and type and type and type and type and then hit enter.
this totally changes everything that we've learned about how you run your business, because we used to believe that what you would do is buy a unit and you would divide that by 10, and that was the price that you rented your unit. But now you can literally go into your schematics on that unit and see how much it's renting, what kind of money it's making. I have a rock wall, inflatable tiki rock wall, big giant heavy thing. It goes out 4 times a year. Now I am a key hardcore believer that if you have something that's going out less than 10 times, you need to get rid of it. But I keep this unit because I have a school that I have a couple of them that this is their rite of passage. It goes into the middle school gym, and every year, this is how the middle schoolers go between the sixth, seventh, and eighth grade into high school. So they spend 3 years on these particular units, and they love this tiki rock wall. It only goes there into one other school twice a year, so 4 times total. But what I'm able to do is I'm able to break that unit down, and now I need to put it on par with my water slide. So I had my chat compare the prices, compare the amount of money that it makes, and make it equal, and it came up with a price that that one needed to make so that it would be on par with this. So no, you don't have to have 10 rentals. You don't have to divide your unit by 10, and that's the way that you figure out what the price is. You need to ask your AI to take all the data and figure out what kind of money it needs to make. Now, once a unit drops off and it's not doing anything, obviously you need to get rid of it. But if you have a unit like that you need to keep because you have a good customer that uses it, then you can use it to take the stats from that unit and create a working business plan for each individual unit. That is huge. That is MBA level thinking. That's how someone who is literally beyond what we're doing in business runs a business. And you can do that because you got an MBA in your computer or in your pocket. You've got these experts in your pocket. And that's how it works.
Yeah, I had a unit. This is an easy one. So I'll tell this short. I have 2 obstacle courses. One of them is an easy obstacle course. It's called Nile Run. And it's rents terribly, which makes no sense because I have the exact same length, almost exact same piece, except for it's made by Jump Orange, right? So one of them is blue and green, one of them is blue and yellow, and it's called Melting Arctic. It makes no sense that they don't rent evenly. And so I downloaded it. I downloaded a lot of data. So prior to hooking it all up with the APIs, what I would do is I would download the month data, the month leads on completed, like everything. And I'd say, give me the breakdown of percent of revenue I did and dollars of revenue I did in each city, compare it to the last 3. Like it was like a long prompt, right? But one of them was I downloaded the units and how they rented out. And it was like, you need to sell Nile Run immediately. I'm like, bro, it's not, it doesn't go out that often. It's in great shape. It's an expensive piece. Like, why would I sell it? It's like, it sucks. It doesn't rent. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not selling it. So instead of selling it, I'm going to show you, and I just did like screenshot. Here's what it looks like on the website. And immediately, and this is old ChatGPT. This is months and months and months ago. Goes, I solved it. The picture's terrible, the name's terrible, and then it tells me why. It's too much brown and it's flat image, like not dynamic and da da da. I was like, well, okay, we'll rename it and make me a new picture. That was the prompt I gave it. It remade the picture. I used the first one. It gave me like a list of names or whatever. I might have picked from one. I don't remember that, but wasn't like super. It's now even. They rent the same. They rent the freaking same. It like quadrupled the rentals on that unit and did not drop the rentals on Melting Arctic. All because of the branding on the website that
That's
I've
right.
never, ever, 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 ever would have thought of. I wouldn't have gone down that path, or if I would have, it would have been too late. I would have been this close to selling it. Who knows? But it's like I just gave it the data, and it's like this one sucks, sell it. This one's awesome. They're the same exact length in both obstacle courses, because you can't see them. Has no emotion. It's like these are the two same thing. This one never goes. And then I asked it why, and it solved the problem. And now it's a great unit and goes out all the time.
There you go.
Yeah,
Bouncing
easy.
the biz, guys. Bouncing the biz.
Yep.
Let's talk about the new show and what you think about that. And
Yeah, the
is there any
Twister.
other topics that we had to hit?
No, we hit all of our topics. Yeah, the Twister. the Twister display show. What's it called again? I don't even. It came out of nowhere, dude. This thing came out of
Right.
nowhere.
I think it's
Right.
Lake Wales or something like that.
Great
Yeah,
Lakes.
Yeah, something
Great
like
Lake.
that. Yeah.
Came out of nowhere. So we're working on getting there. We had like a what did we have like a soft invite or an unofficial invite? I don't remember.
Right. Right. It may not
But
be a full on bounce into biz class, but I'm gonna go. I don't care. I'm gonna go.
I'm hoping I'll go. I wish I was as retired as you, but I'm not. So no, but
Well, it's
I want to be there. I want to do a proper bounce in the business. Not gonna lie.
yeah. And honestly, my whole thought about this was I'd love to dissect just the dunk tank part of the business and show you how I could just take just dunk tanks and I could use AI to create an entire business from visuals to marketing to website to SEO, AEO, sales, the whole nine yards.
Yeah,
See my camera?
yeah,
When
dude.
I move my hands, it
I know you're
shrinks.
not on a Mac. There's a setting on Mac that does that to me that
I
I've
keep setting it to, but it keeps going back into to hand mode because I
mine's
keep
called like Stage Manager or something. But
I need to
no,
learn to talk about.
the dunk. So if you were like, let me buy a dunk tank and put it on my website, you got to figure out how to market it, right? If you kind of flip your old school brain off and turn on the new school brain, you buy a dunk tank, absolutely, go put it on your website, 100%. Like, let's go get that SEO juice. Let's go use that. But and what Alvin's talking about is in the class, if we can get the class there, in the class, he's going to walk you through and do it live, starting a separate business, a separate brand that's a dunk tank only brand. Name it whatever you want to name it, Zeus's Dunkers or whatever, and it will have a website. It will have all the landing pages. It'll have a logo. It'll have the mascots, and that'll all be in the class. We have
Videos.
not
It'll have
done that.
videos. It'll have all of it.
Yes. We've talked about doing this. We're hopefully going to be able to do it in January with Foam Daddy. I don't have the check mark on that yet, so I can't confirm. But we want to do that exact same topic with Foam Daddy. But then the Twister display one came out. It's like that's it. That's the because
Yes.
imagine if you owned a business that all you did was dunk tanks, you would decimate all the other party rental companies that have them buried on their website,
Right.
and some, landing page that's, dunk tank rental Los Angeles, whatever. If you're the dunk tank authority, that's what Alvin will do live in class is make
Right.
a website that's dunk tank authority the moment it launches. And
That's
it's
right.
hosted on probably
Good
on
question for you guys.
Mhm.
On your AI stuff, and then I know you, Nick, you use a lot of the mascot talking videos and stuff. Is that a that's the question I'm gonna ask, but is it a different app used to do that, or can it be done with ChatGPT as well?
No, totally different.
Okay.
Google does Google Gemini.
Google
Yeah.
They're the
Gemini.
best. Yeah, they're the best with video. Um, but there's a lot more to it than just saying, "Hey, put a prompt in." There's you gotta do the editing. You gotta do the you know. It usually takes a lot of iterations. It You have to get the prompting for videos is different from prompting with just trying to get something out of an LL's large language model or an agent because you're trying to convey something. So and we kind of go through all that. Plus, we throw in all the psychology of what you want to do, how you want your images to look so that it has the most impactful effect on people. Plus, everything that you need to embed into the video. So if you have the things that your characters say, plus if you have subtitles, plus if you have a good description, plus if you have a sign that's in the yard next to it that's got wording on it. Plus, if you have, all those pluses, it's keying off of 5 different sites instead of just 2 with a regular just flyer or just a static picture. So videos are much, much better at doing what they're supposed to do than a flyer, as long as you do them right. If you don't do them right, then you're spending a lot of time and effort on something that's literally just somebody's not watching, and they're moving away from, or they're pausing just a minute to see it and then moving away from it. The bad thing about videos is if you don't get the viewing out of it, it's almost a negative effect, because someone who sees an image sees that image, but someone who doesn't watch the whole movie, especially if you have the hook at the end or all the information at the end, they never got to that point. Yeah. So you got to do it right. And we do go through all that, but play around with Google to start with. They're the best. And with their Omni mode, you can actually change the video itself. So for instance, I did an example where somebody had the ladybug slide, and I made just the ladybug on the slide green instead of red. And you can just do that through prompting. You don't even have to change anything. So that it helps a lot, makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I missed you guys here, and because I'm based in Florida, so I missed you guys when you came to Tampa.
Coming back, we're coming back. What part are you in?
I'm in Lakeland, between Tampa and Orlando.
You're not too far. We'll be there in IAPA. We're gonna do a pre-IAPA show the day Sunday and Monday before IAPA, so we will definitely be there. That will be a good one. Okay. If not, maybe catch some of the online stuff, or do more than one, because I'm telling you, it's moving so quick.
Yeah.
That you definitely learn. Even if you just went to one, we do one in the next month. It's like in AI, it's like a month is a year. It's just moving so quick. Elon is sitting out a new trained model every 2 weeks now. Every 2 weeks, he's training a new model. That's insane. It used to take a year. Right. Now he's doing it in every 2 weeks. Absolutely insane. And all the other models have to do it as fast, or they'll get left behind. So they're going to do the same thing. And Nick's seen it. I mean, it used to be 6 months, and then 3 months, and then 1 month. And now it's literally every week. So you got to, the reason why he's got his AI telling him what's going on in AI, because it's that quick. If you blink, you're going to miss it. So learning these classes, and this is what this inaugural thing is. It's our ability to every month we want to talk to you guys about what's going on and just kind of break some of the news that's going on. And we'll give you a little tips and tricks, but you got to have that base of the class, right, too, because it works so much better that way. And we would teach you here. Honestly, it's out there. I would love to tell you all. I'd spend all night telling you what to do, but it really needs to be in a classroom with me sitting there showing you, do this, do that. So if you have a sticking point, you can say, what about this? And we can work through it. I can't tell you the number of times in class we've had, somebody says, hold on, I'm not getting what you're getting. And even if we do it online, you really can't stop and see what's going on. It'll be all day. So the classroom is definitely where you want to get that base information from.
And then with having both of us there too, it's like if you're instructing, right, I can add a different perspective. I can go over to your computer and help you, or vice versa. It's very it's not, I mean, the word classroom almost doesn't describe it, right? It's almost like a hangout. Like it's not
right.
even a meeting. It's like everybody's hanging out, and we go at the speed. You go at the speed of the room.
That's right. And honestly, to tell you the truth, the cool part is that everything that he's an expert in, I don't mess with, and everything I'm an expert with, he doesn't mess with. He does IO. He does the white label stuff with Go High Level and stuff like that. I don't touch any of that. Everything I build myself. So I've got my own homemade reservation system. I've got my own homemade, marketing and all my stuff is because I wanted to do the other side of it. Okay. I didn't want to be like everyone else. I wanted to do the extreme, but I needed him because 90% of you guys are using those things. And
Yeah.
honestly, he's the expert on it. I don't know very much about, integrating that kind of stuff at all. So you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, I mean, when we started this whole thing, it was kind of like we were at this crossroads of like, what do we do? Because we don't want to disrupt things that are happening, but we don't want to hold back. You know what I mean? We've found the right avenues to go, but it's just kind of like, look, if we want to make our own reservation system, your own rental software, or shit, Alvin just gives it for free if you want his. It's like we fully support that. If you're more like me, where it's like I'm scared shitless to do that, like that's too advanced for me. Like I'll show you how to you leverage AI to use what you already have. You know what I mean? It's you can go either way, and it is what you. If you want Ninja to do your SEO, hell yeah. If you want to do your own, hell yeah. Like we're agnostic, I guess you could say, to the norms of the industry. Like we're literally here to teach you how to do it right. And it's not been an easy to get there, but that's where we are, and that's what we're gonna stay. All right. Sounds
So
like it
you
was
good?
like it's time to sounds like it's time to oh did Alvin disappeared. Shit.
Yeah, he did.
I was waiting for him to say something. Well, yeah, do you guys have any other questions or anything? By no means do we need to like wrap it right now. I just want to make sure we kind of wrap it with a bow. Any questions you guys have, happy to answer. Um, and then yeah, and then we can all go to bed.
No, I'll send you a message.
Yeah, cool.
Couple more questions on it, but you said you guys are gonna be here on Sunday and Monday before IABA.
Yeah, so we're trying to put something together yet. It's
Are you gonna do it at leisure again or
no, no. It won't be in Tampa at leisure. It'll be in Orlando proper.
okay?
Uh we're talking to a couple different manufacturers of what the hell. So we don't know yet what we need to nail it down, but it will be definitely we always do the night before because not everybody, but most people travel the night before. So Saturday night we'll do like a dinner and some
Mm-hmm.
drinks or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of loosen up. Everybody can meet everybody. And then class proper will be Saturday or sorry, Sunday and then Monday. And then that Monday, there's after parties. Jump Orange has a party. So like
Yeah.
we're gonna try and coordinate to where we kind of like line up with
Yeah.
everything.
Usually jump on from HEC to do stuff. So
Yeah, and I think Monday night there's a IOA party if I remember right. I talked to Kevin today. There's an IOA party, and I talked to Alex Cosio. There's a Hudson party too, at the Andretti's, but I think that's Tuesday. I don't know. It's already too crazy. But yeah. So, anyways, we'll definitely be at IAPA. Yeah, that Sunday, Monday.
okay.
Oh, here's Alvin. He's coming back in. Yeah. You guys have any other questions or anything? All right. I was just rapping, Alvin. I know you disappeared.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
made my point and then it was quiet, and I was like, "What happened?"
My power went off and my router had to reset. So I'm like, come on, you can do
Uh,
it.
but yeah, we were just wrapping up. I was basically just asking if they had any questions.
Yeah. The reason I asked about the videos is because I got the bounce house business, but I separated the foam from the bounce house. So I made its own brand and its own website and that stuff. So when I was asking about the videos, because I want to make I want to make mascot.
Yeah.
Make your mascot in ChatGPT.
And
It's
I have the mascot because my logo has a mascot
oh
already
perfect.
for it. So I was trying to make a couple videos inside the foam business for it, just to promote it.
Yep.
Kind of, sort of.
You can do some amazing thing with foam.
It's
Yeah.
so visual.
You can make so I did a whole series of videos for customers who had it, and they were all pretty much the same thing, but what we did was we broke down every single type of event that you could do with foam. So
Right.
daycares and summer camps and
Yeah.
after school parties and
Gender reveals.
and you have videos of each one, and you have the
Correct.
foam doing gender reveals, yeah, everything. So yeah, the foam is real fun, and you can even do some really freaky stuff now. So I can make the foam form into things, and so it shoots out of the cannon like normal, but then it
Yeah.
turns into something crazy and spells out, your logo or something like
Yep.
that. Or
And I want to learn that side of the
yeah,
of the
no,
biz for the phone business part.
that's all absolute, and that's the kind of stuff that you're gonna nail your customers with too. So
Yeah,
that's
because
your love.
At Bounce into Biz, we've only done 2 so far, but Alvin and I go in trying to teach all this nerdy shit to help people's businesses grow better. And then he starts teaching the freaking videos, dude, and like the room like erupts like a blossoming rose, and everybody comes out of their shell. They're making goofy shit. And I'm
yeah,
like, you guys didn't like the nerdy stuff that's like, yeah, you guys
Right.
make videos for your Facebook page? Like
Yeah.
you will leave knowing what to do, how to do it, and made some cool shit and ready to spend too much money on credits to make more cool shit.
Right. Right. And I can give you some pointers on how to save some money on some of that stuff too. So it's not so bad. The videos I've really, really enjoyed. And here's the thing. I was the president of my art club way back in high school. So, I mean, 100 years ago. And that's where 90% of this stuff just kind of stuck in the back of my brain. So I've got all this information on not only art, but the psychology of art and how to make it, where you're centering the focal point and you're doing the right lighting and you're setting the moods and leading the characters and leading the eye and do color the way that you mix colors, tons and tons of stuff. It all just kind of come rushing back, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. My first video that I ever did was I did a series of videos they were doing the Bounce House Atlanta thing, and I did a series of videos of my Bigfoot character, who was
Oh, I remember
spying
that
on
one.
them, and he bought some jump off straps, and he bought a Rolls-All dolly, and now he knew he had everything he needed to be in the bouncing business, and he was just going to go over and watch Bounce Atlanta and see how they did it, and he was going to be an expert. And so I made that video and sent it to them, and they all thought it was cool. And I knew at that moment that was the way that you did it, was getting in front of your customers and creating those opportunities that a lot of people don't feel comfortable being in front of a camera, but you can make a character that's in front of a camera that does everything that you need it to do. And especially now with AI and the tons and tons of apps that they got, where I made him into Bigfoot and and made him
That was
sell one
wild.
of his things. So yeah, you can do so much with it, and it helps your business in such a way that you don't have to stress about being in front of a camera, like
yeah,
that. Or
yeah. I'm just trying to push that business a little bit because there's not a lot of, at least I don't see a lot of phone action around this area. So I'm trying to kind of boom it per se.
yeah, I would push the colleges real hard, because that's definitely a foot in. I
Mm-hmm.
do about 5 or 6 colleges.
See, I can
And
try and put the background of my.
there you go. Yeah. I like it.
So
I like it. It's perfect. Yeah,
that's
no,
the
you can.
mascot, and then I got the shield per se. I have a shield with it's called Blast Wave. So I have a shield with a BW on it.
Right,
And that's some of the images I use from my barricades and stuff. So,
right.
but I said, let me do a
Perfect.
mascot. That's AI ChatGPT created. So, um, I want to make him talk and move around.
Yeah, no, get the phone moving and the bubbles,
Hmm.
change the
Yeah, I
scenes.
have him, and he has the
Going
guns right there, but I have him on my barricades. I have him with the actual foam machine, putting
That's
foam out
cool.
of it.
So he's a superhero. You need him to fight Baron Boredom or whoever be the bad
Yeah, technically.
guy.
I had created
That's
a
a good
couple of
idea.
them. First, I had like a galactic one, like all
Right.
hero
Yeah.
shit, but then I made him like more down
Doctor
to
Doom's
earth.
coming out. I'd
Yeah,
make Baron Boredom and make him look a lot like Doctor Doom and you just play off that whole thing.
yeah, more down to earth instead of
And,
more cartoonish per se.
right. Right. Yeah, that would be fun. No, you tons. You got it. You understand where you're going.
Yeah,
It's and so much that you can do with it. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
but I'll definitely come down to the Orlando one. I
sounds
go
good.
to
And hey, look,
I go to
we
IAPA
both
every
have
year, so
YouTube channels. We both have Facebook channels.
yeah.
Make sure you kind
I
of
met you in WaveCon,
yes,
Alvin,
yes,
and I got your straps. So
right.
There you go.
Well, WaveCon was about 15 minutes. I need about 2 hours
yeah, I
to
know
give you information,
that was short.
and then
That
I
was
need
quick.
8 hours to really teach. Yeah. But that's a really good show, and I'm talking to Austin now about us doing one there as well. So yeah, be looking for that too, because I'd love to corner that crowd too. Um,
Yeah, it's
it's all
much needed on this side. So
right. Yeah, the leisure one was really good. That was our first
yeah, I
one.
tried to make it to that one, but
Yeah.
had
They're
some
begging
work.
us to come back, so we're loving going back. So we'll definitely be scheduling it. Like I said, nothing says you can't do a couple of them because you're definitely going to learn off of each one. Every time I teach it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I know that people
Yeah,
learn.
I just played around just to make stupid stuff, descriptions and stuff like that. But I haven't gone like full beat into the AI
Right.
situation. So it's like learning from zero.
So what's your business? Who all's working in it? Is it just you, or is your family, or you got
Me and my
employees?
wife. That's it.
You and your wife. That's
And
how
my
I
daughter.
started. Yeah. And how many units do you have?
Right now, I have 11.
Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly where most of the folks are at. That
Mhm.
we've been teaching. So
Yeah,
we're right in line with
I
where you
got
need to be.
three, four water slides, three combos, two bounce houses, inflatable game, a toddler, three toddler units.
Yeah, perfect. No, you're right where you want to be. The only other thing that we offer is planning your growth, which is huge. It's important too, and that's what an app is probably going to be the most important part. Is that we're going to sit down with everybody before and during the show. We'll actually be on the floor, and we're going to be walking with folks and trying to show you the path to. So what I've done for several years is I go into the IAP is always my big show, and I'll get with the manufacturers. I pick out the units that I want, and then I'll schedule my year. I don't buy them all and pay them all and then wait. I I pay for them with delivery scattered throughout the year, so that I always have stuff that I'm unveiling throughout the year. I
Okay.
have 4 or 5 different units that are coming in, and one's in the spring and one's in the summer and one's in the fall. So I have these big unveilings where, look, I got these brand new units, and it gives me tons of content to give to my customers. At the same time, it spreads my growth out, so I don't have to dump a bunch of money up front. I have some time to do that, and it also keeps me in track to where I'm motivated to make enough money to pay for this unit and then move on to the next unit. So it helps you not to go too far into debt, trying to buy these things with credit and stuff like that. You can do
Yeah.
what all the manufacturers do, a layaway program.
No, right now I did the hardcore way. and just savings and 401ks that I had and shit
Yeah.
out of pocket.
Yeah.
Don't want to own. I don't want to owe anybody anything.
Right.
So
Well,
I'll go the Nick way. He says on one of his YouTube videos, you need
that's
eight.
right.
Eight. You want to start, you need 8. And here's
That's
the way.
right.
1 or 2 bounce houses. You
But you
need
got to remember,
you need 2
it,
or 3 combos, and then you're gonna need 3, 4, maybe
He's got the
18,
good.
mannerisms and everything.
18-foot water slides,
That's pretty
and
good.
you definitely need a obstacle course and an
And then
Astro.
Acro.
I know it word by
Awesome.
word, so
But
I
you
told
gotta
you.
remember, you gotta or realize, as a business, carrying debt is good,
mhm.
not bad.
Sometimes
As a
good.
human, as a human, you're taught correctly. Cash, no debt, don't owe anybody money. As a business, it's upside down. It's on its head because
Right.
you
You don't
can't
want to be
scale.
profitable because they're going to take it.
Yeah, you
So
can't scale without doing some sort of fundraising, and it can be big, sexy, acronyms like SBA loans, but it doesn't have to be. It can be credit cards, whatever. But yeah, you've got to fundraise to scale. And as a human, you need to do the opposite. You can't scale as a regular citizen doing
Mhm.
fundraising because you just bury yourself in debt.
Jordan says taxes are the whole reason he got into it. So he has a
Yeah,
tax right.
right, right.
But
Um,
I do it a little different. And that's the cool thing about this whole class is that, again, we kind of play off of each other. I don't go in debt for the units, I don't go in debt for the equipment. But in the same respect, nobody can afford a $80,000 truck or something like that, or even a $40,000 truck without going into some debt. So I tend to save my debt for things like that. And then I also pay a lot of my bills with my debt or with my business so that I'm not making as much money, but I'm not paying as much bills either. So phone bills and cable bills and office buildings and I even bought some property and had it pay it off and those kind of things. So that
Yeah, I'm still in
yeah.
the garage, so trying to move forward and then trying to get into a little space.
Yeah.
But as of right now, garage it is.
That's it. That's it.
It's a
Make
cluster.
make
Garage
It's,
it
is
even
honorable,
bigger.
bro. That's where
yeah,
I started too, so it's honorable.
yeah. It's a clusterfuck in there, but it is what it is.
Hey, to be fair, mine was organized, all right? So
No, I mean clusterfucking when you can't fucking walk anywhere. You got all the
Right.
units one side,
11
concession
units in the garage.
stands.
I guess not.
Yeah,
yeah,
rats.
I tell a
Got
story to new hires. And sometimes like if it's a good interview, I'll give them a warehouse tour, like, walk them into the warehouse after the interview's over. But but especially the new hires, I show them the warehouse, right? And they're like, because like, you see a warehouse with 100 inflatables in it. It's a normal person is like, whoa. Like people that have been to Robert's place are so not impressed by my little tiny operation, but a normal person is impressed. And I always tell them this story. I tell it probably different every time, but I'm like, I remember when I had like 20 something, and they were in the garage and they like did my best to keep them in rows and they all had spots.
Mm-hmm.
The blower was in front of them, whatever. But we've always had a garage fridge where the beers were. So like I would walk out to get a beer, and every time I'd open the door, like I'd see it and like forget and be like, oh, that's right. And just like I'm getting goosebumps right now telling the story. This overwhelming like sense of pride, like this I did this.
Yeah.
You know?
You built that.
And you can smell it, right? Like as soon as you walk into the garage, it smells like inflatables. And just like go get a beer out of the fridge, be like,
Not wrong, because I got the same thing. I got a bigger fridge over there. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
has a space where I can open that door.
That's
Yes.
right.
Same. Mine moved from the corner over here to the corner over here to
Yeah.
the corner over here. Well, I rearranged as we grew. But it's like like there was no point in the business where I was more proud than I had. I don't remember the exact number, 20, whatever, low 20s. It was like there was no time I was more proud. It doesn't matter how many I walk into now. in the warehouse. It doesn't matter. That like beginning, like I did it phase was the most amazing feeling I've ever had entrepreneurially.
When let me ask you questions, because you guys been there for years already. So when did you guys start adding the theme stuff into your business?
Too late for me. Alvin will probably be a better answer. Way too late for me because I was trying to scale. Well, I shouldn't say that. Not giving myself the credit. I don't know if I did it wrong or if I did it right, but I was so hell bent on scaling backyard that I only bought pieces, like literally only bought pieces that would go to backyard. But where I live, there's, I mean, we I don't think we have a building in my county that's over 5 stories. Like it's very small commutery town. It's just all neighborhoods. So I focus really, really, really hard on backyard. The reason why I say I might be wrong is because the minute I started adding those other pieces, I did discover that there is decent sized church, corporate, and school here that I was totally missing out on, having 18-foot dual lane water slides that crush backyard, but don't go to,
The churches and yeah.
yeah. And so, I'll let Alvin, give his answer, but it's kind of like at 11, I wouldn't tell you that you're there, but I would tell you that you're way, I mean, I was like 50 or 60 inflatables before I started doing it, and I was way, 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 way too late. I could have been getting that business way earlier.
When you should buy themed inflatables when it helps you grow your business. So right now with 11 inflatables, you probably need to add some more water slides. You probably need to get up to probably 20, 25 units.
Yeah, that's the track I'm going. So
and go heavy, heavy into the thing. Listen, Bounce Wave is not wrong when they say buy what rents.
yeah,
They're absolutely right. You need to, because that's, you don't scale quick off of, worrying about cash flow. If you have a bunch of stuff that's renting and you're making that money, you can buy those things a lot quicker because you've got that cash flow coming in. So I would tell you, when you get to the point to where you're doing less than 20 rentals on a water slide, you've reached the point to where your water slides need to be cut off, and you could start looking at some of the other stuff. So get there first. Always, always, always buy what's renting first, and make sure you fill that out. If you went out and bought some theme stuff right now, you may do well for whatever the theme is for Halloween, or even if it was a dinosaur and you did,
I
some
do,
kids.
and I add because I do have a dinosaur. So
Yeah.
that's
Theme.
the only
There's
theme I
a couple
have.
different answers to theme. Theme can be lightly themed like pirates or dinosaurs, where it kind of matches a lot of different things,
Mhm.
or it could mean like Spider-Man or something like that, where it's literally specific.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, the hard
No,
stuff.
no, I also mentioned theme in a sense where holiday stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Halloween stuff.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. How many rentals do you do? Let's just take Halloween. Let's just say, how many do you rent in September and October? How many rentals do you do in those 2 months?
Here, it's more of tent tables and chairs. And my wife has a decoration business, so
Right.
it kind of
Well, I'm not trying to
combines.
put you on the spot, but what I'm saying is,
Oh no,
that
you don't put
you've got 10 months to rent a water slide.
correct.
You got 2 months to rent a pumpkin bounce.
Correct.
And if you had that pumpkin bounce, what are you going to do it in Easter?
And not to lie, I hit my this is my second year on it. And in my first year, I rented more of bounce houses and combos between fucking September all the way to December.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That's normal. Yeah.
And then
But I mean, if you're doing tents, tables, and chairs, like quote unquote only, I know like you're guessing, but in October, that's an indicator of, ooh, I may have the wrong or not have the correct inventory.
Right.
It's not a slam dunk,
yeah,
but it's a hint of, ooh, maybe I should invest in not a You know, what's the one, Alvin, you saw the one that Matt just released? It's the pumpkin with the mummy coming out of the
Yeah, I
coffin.
just saw
Right.
the video today. I was like, and
So good.
kind of the reason I asked right now is that like
So good.
I was gonna jump into that one right now. I was like,
But I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna rent that thing, at your size, you're
4
gonna rent that
times,
thing. If the,
and then it's
I
gonna
was gonna
sit.
say two. I was gonna say two. And you're gonna rent it at, for maybe, I don't know how big and heavy it is. Maybe $500 is pushing it, but it's gonna make $800 a year. It's just like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Don't
Take you
go
2 years
that
to get your money
far.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get like my pirate themed stuff does the best at Halloween because it
It's a
works.
combination.
It's not a Halloween unit, but it's the closest thing I got, and so
Correct.
Right.
yeah, those go first. So get it, and
But you
and
could do the
and they
same
go
thing
all
with an
year.
orange. You could do the same thing with an orange and green bounce house, and then you could use it again at Easter, and then you could use it for anybody that likes orange and green, and then you could use it for whatever sports team has orange and green. So that's how you would theme.
Miami,
You know, well, yeah.
Miami Heat.
So that's how I would do it. If you absolutely had to get one, I would start off with a bounce house and I would make it the centerpiece because it would be the absolute cheapest. And then I would surround it with other things. So
Not even
get
that.
that pumpkin
I was
bounce.
looking into the buy what rents. They just threw off that interchangeable, just like
That's a
Leisure
good
has
piece.
it.
Right.
Those are
Yes.
dope for like I don't think I'm gonna rephrase. I know for a fact that me, could not properly manage that amongst my employees because while I am a very organized individual, I'm not a very organized, CEO. We don't run a tight ship. We run a pirate ship. So my guys would ruin everything. That
Right.
being said, if I was still, that
You
20
and your
unit,
wife.
yeah, if I
Right.
was 20 unit, do
It
everything
may
myself.
fit very well for you and your wife because if you
Yeah, I
put it
was
in a
looking at it
corner,
because
you're
it's
going to
like it
know.
has everything. It has the Halloween stuff, it has the Christmas stuff, it has the Easter stuff,
Yeah.
has all the
Yeah,
combination to it.
I would
Yeah.
probably buy four of them. You know what I mean?
It comes with all of them. The
Mm-hmm.
one unit comes with all
One unit
four of
comes
them.
with all 4 sections.
Right.
That leisure, because I walked, because they had it up, and then Elena or Tim, I don't remember, was like, yeah, this is the one that like put the theme stuff on, blah blah blah, and I was
Yeah,
like,
the
yeah,
hybrid one.
fucking cool, yeah, fucking
Yeah.
cool, whatever. And then the dude that works there, I forgot his name, the blonde guy, but he starts putting them on, and Alvin, I think he might have like told me or whatever, but and I went out there and I'm like, oh my God. Like when you watch it change in person, it's
Right.
shocking that it
Yeah.
goes from a tricolor, the primary color bounce house into they put the birthday theme stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got
They
stuff
got
on it.
everything. They got so many combinations.
That thing
Monster
freaking blew me away.
truck, motocross,
Yeah.
Honda. They got everything.
It blew me away once they changed it into the birthday one. It literally looked like a different unit. It was shocking.
Yeah. Yeah. They have knocked it out of the park on that one. That Leisure has definitely done a good job, and they've got several different ones. That may be a way for you to go too.
Yeah,
They have the smaller games as well
correct.
that are you can
Interchangeable.
so now you can put $1,000 into a piece, turn it into a Halloween piece, and then surround it with your other stuff and make it the centerpiece. And you've not sunk your whole work into it, and it's not a piece that you're having to struggle with. So yeah, I would do something like that. If, like I said, if you absolutely have to have one, and sometimes you got to do stuff like that. Sometimes you got to do it to make yourself stand out. And you got to do it because this is your business, and obviously you want to feel good about your business, and you want to get the things that you want in the home yards. But be very, very careful that you're not renting. I have a poop bounce. The poop emoji bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had it for 6 years. It's gone out 6 times,
It's
and
hilarious
I
looking.
won't get rid
It's
of it.
awesome. It's so
I will
awesome.
not get rid of it. because it's a constant reminder of I don't need to buy things that I think is
Don't
is
buy
important.
dumb shit.
Yeah,
Right. Don't buy dumb
literally.
shit.
Yeah, so I
It-
saw that one.
I bought it
I
because
saw
I
the
thought
picture and
I
I
thought
saw
my
the
middle school kids would love it, but the teachers didn't.
yeah. I was between that one and the bounce wave interchangeable bounce house because they did a pretty good job on that one.
Yeah, those will be good. But remember, they can only go out once, once a day or once a weekend or whatever you do. So
Right.
even though it's interchangeable, you're going to get more rentals, but you're still limited to only
Correct.
one customer is going to get it. So it's
Correct.
not like you're getting 2 units or 3 units or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's still only 1 unit. It'll go out more, but um, you know,
But it'll go out more, but it'll save me money on the back end
right.
instead of having to buy one thing.
Yes. Yep.
So, and with the
Well,
insurance
guys, it's
costs,
getting late and I'm old, so.
Oh, hey, I'm getting older, so I'm with you. I'm with you. And I traveled for 13 hours yesterday.
There
I
you
told you
go.
I told you it was gonna be short because I was gonna be tired. I'm proud of myself. The
yeah, it
13
made it
hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
2.5
Literally.
hours in.
Yeah. So,
Gabriel, we've really enjoyed it, and everybody else, Jordan, everybody else, we've enjoyed it. Appreciate you guys coming in, and
thank
again,
you guys, and
you guys.
I'll meet you guys in IAPA, and then
Yeah, definitely.
wherever your next one is going to be at. So
Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah.
you just got to
Alvin and I
figure
are
out.
traveling everywhere.
That's right.
But I'll shoot you guys some text and stuff. So
Yeah.
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 I'm really interested on the bounce to biz one because this AI bullshit is. I literally once you said that I was like I had to type in ChatGPT, check my website and check its SEO with the companies around me. Where am I ranked?
Right.
And it spit the shit out. I was like, yep,
Right.
you got to change hardcore shit.
That's it. That's it. You just
Oh.
became the expert of your business.
Yeah,
Who
the
would-
only reason is that I don't know if I was doing it on the wrong side of ChatGPT. I don't know if I was doing it on the chat part instead of the work mode because it will not go into my IO profile at all. Like if I want to
You're on
make
the chat.
corrections or anything like that.
Yeah, you're on the chat for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that out quickly once you said it. So
Yeah.
thank
And
you
a lot of
guys.
them
Have a good
overstate
night.
it.
All right,
You too.
everybody.
Guys.
Thanks, Gabriel.
All right.
See ya.
Laters.